right, we're going to learn how to do some strumming and some finger picking all at the same time, believe it or not, on this song Amazing Grace that we're learning. And we're going to do it all without a pick. I've got this really cool pattern I want to show you. Hey, it's Bob Harris here, and welcome to Amazing Grace Finger Picking for Beginners. If you haven't downloaded the study guide yet, all you have to do is just go right here, click on that button. That'll take you to the free download page. The course is free. There's no reason not to get it, so I hope to see you there. Also, too, if you're liking this video and you like some of my other videos and you want to be kept up to date with everything that I'm doing here on this channel, all you have to do is just go and click on this subscribe button, and you'll get notified when I have a new video out. So if you have your guitar with you, you're all tuned up and ready to go, let's get started with the lesson right now. Here we go. All right, so hopefully you've been following in the study guide and you've been working on some of the finger picking that I've been showing here for this song Amazing Grace. And what I want to do is I want to just show you this Clawhammer banjo technique, and this is an opportunity here to be able to put this on the guitar as well. So a couple of weeks ago I was playing this gig with a banjo player friend of mine, and we're in a band together, and he picked up my guitar and he started doing this. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, instead of having a pick with you, you can go ahead and do this with your fingers. Now I see a lot of people going like this. But what's cool about this is you get to use the back of your fingernails to create a little bit nicer sound than just using your thumb when you want to strum. So why am I teaching you this? Well, what's cool is you can strum and finger pick at the same time without having to grab a pick. All right? So that's a very cool reason why you'd want to do this. And sometimes you're going to want a little bit more power, and especially if you're singing this song, you want to be able to belt it out. You might get to a loud part and you get emotional. So let me just show you how to do this right hand. It's very easy. And what's cool about this is if you're having trouble playing up to speed finger picking, and this is something that you need to play for people, or you need to play it soon, by using this Clawhammer technique, what you could do is you could learn this very quickly because it's very easy. So right hand first, okay? What you're doing is you're plucking the bass note, okay, for each chord. So for a G chord, the bass note is a G, all right? And an easy way to remember what the bass notes are supposed to be is whatever the name of the chord is, that's the bass root note that you have to play first, all right? So on a G chord, you're playing that root G note, all right? 6th string, 3 frets up is your G note, and you just play that, and then you play the rest of the chord. I'm just going to show the regular chords here. Now, the downfall with this technique is that you have to know the regular chords, all right? Because we're strumming through it, and you have to have all of the notes that are in the chord. If there's stuff missing, like for instance the finger picking, we have an opportunity to play it with one finger, but strumming through that, that's not the right chord. We need that full G chord. So let me just show you on the right hand first how we do this. So all we're doing is we're holding the G chord down here, and we're just hitting the 6th string right here. We're just plucking that note, okay? And then with the back of our fingernails, with the back of our fingers, we're strumming 2 times. Remember, this song is in 3/4 times, so really the cadence is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I hope you have your guitar with you. Why don't you try that with me? Just pluck the note. Let's do that first. Pluck this bass note, the G note, and then with the back of your fingers, I have my hands curled this way, with the back of your fingers, just simply strum across. And you could use more than one finger. You could use one finger if you want, I found that using 2 or 3 fingers on this sounds very nice. All right. Now the flamenco players and even the classical players, if they're going to strum through something, they'll use 3 or even 4 fingers to go ahead to strum it. All right. So it takes a little bit of coordination to be able to do it, but once you get it, you could get some really good speed happening on the guitar. So it would be like this. We'll go real slow. It's the back of your fingernails this way. We're not strumming this direction, you know, with our hands this way. We have our hands curled, and all we're doing is doing this. I'm sure you can do that, okay? That's all we're doing. Okay, so it's boom, and I call this boom, chick, chick. I didn't invent that. I don't know where that came from, but it's called boom, chick, chick, all right? If it was in 4/4 timing, it would be boom, chick, boom, chick. So, but this is just boom, chick, chick. So 1, 2, 3. So real slow, we'll do it together. Hope you have your guitar with you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A little slower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm not even really paying attention to which notes I'm strumming through. I'm strumming through the whole guitar because I'm playing the whole G chord here, all right? You could use a 4-finger G chord if you want, or the 3-finger G chord. But we can't use this gateway 1-fingered finger-picking chord. That's the disadvantage of strumming, is you've got to have that full chord there, okay? So with that said, what happens then with the C chord when we go to play our C chord, and hopefully you have taken all the lessons leading up to this where you're comfortable with the C chord. What we're doing here is we're starting on remember the rule is starting on the root note, okay? And our root note here is the C note, which is on the 5th string 3 frets up. That's our bass root note. So we're plucking that with our thumb, and then we're going with the back of our hand. Same thing, the rest of the strings. Very easy. Why don't you try that with me? Hopefully you know the C chord already, okay? Now if not, you really have to get the study guide, because the study guide has all the lessons on how to do the C chord. Now sometimes it's hard to aim your fingers there, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to lift your hands too far. You don't want to go way out like this, because then to get back to that C chord or that C root note, you have to want to keep your thumb in that general area so that when you go to strum, you're not going to have some accuracy problems. So if you see I'm not moving all that much, I'm just kind of fanning my hand out, and if I could, I would just... So why don't you try that with me? It takes a little bit of coordination to get the thumb to go into the right place there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm trying to keep my hands, not move them too much for more accuracy. The less movement, the better. All right. So you can always just go back and practice that if you need a little bit of help. That's the cool thing about YouTube, is you can just hit the rewind button, as I call it, and rewind this video a little bit and just go back and practice that with me. The only other chord that's in Amazing Grace is the D chord here. So hopefully you know that. Now, D chord means that we have to be on this fourth string, and it's an open note here. That's our root note, our bass note for D. D equals D note, bass note, and we're playing the D chord right here. And same principle. Play the note and then strum through that. Now we're not even using these two strings at all. Okay, so we're strumming just through these last three strings here. I mean, I suppose you could even strum through this D note as well, but I look at it as I'm strumming this one, I'm plucking this one, and then strumming these two. So this is kind of finger picking and strumming at the same time, okay, because we have to pick a note. All right, so why don't you try that with me? Same thing. We'll just look at this right hand here. The real degree of difficulty is just getting your thumb to go to that string again. That's the degree of difficulty. So things to keep in mind here is just try not to, move your hand real far. Try to stay within this area so that you can aim at that note again to be able to play that first note, that first root note. So what you're going to want to do with this before we do the play along, which is in the next video of this series, go ahead and practice changing these chords while you're strumming. So one simple exercise would be just going G, C, and D back to G. So it would be G, C, D, G, and so on and so forth here. So what I would do is I would get your metronome. Hopefully you have a metronome by now. Set it on slow and just practice changing chords. So in the next video in this series, what we're going to do is we're going to break out the Tux guitar program and we're going to play along at different speeds. So hopefully you can change these chords, and if you want to use the four-fingered chords, all right, if you're comfortable with that, as opposed to these chords, but you've got to use full chords, okay? That's the only downfall where the finger picking allowed us to cheat a little bit, because we're not playing some of the notes. We don't have to play some of the notes. So I will see you in the next video.